Episode 7 of Shade-aholics. Wow.
I'm going to be so happy when we get to 10 because I'm really going to be like, we need to do something major for episode 10.
Popping bottles in the background. Not the sound. We're back. We're better. And we're thriving.
I was going to say, isn't this thing like, we're back and we're better than ever? Ain't it something like that?
Yeah, but we're thriving right now.
Period. We're on our hustle shit.
This aggravating voice right here is Rico.
And this country voice is Christian.
Whatever.
My voice is not that country, actually. I've been told that.
Wait, okay, so last episode I led, but you're going to have to lead since you have the question.
Oh, well, I mean, I can lead in the first segment, but when it gets down to, Okay, so.
Can you guys tell that we're never have our shit together?
It's not that we never have our shit together. I think the thing is we have a basis of what we're gonna do. Like, it's kind of like a prompt.
Yeah.
Like, we know.
It's an outline, but we haven't worked out, the rising action and the climax. And my English teachers would be so sick of me. I don't proofread any of my tweets. So now it's just, typos, and typos.
But, okay. First segment. I have a question.
Okay.
Has there ever been anything in life thus far that you felt like you feel like you didn't do? Has there ever been a moment in life where you feel like you didn't use the best of your abilities?
Yes, but that question just immediately made me think of this question. Has there ever been something in your life that you felt like you haven't conquered, that you could have conquered, but you just haven't?
Yes. It's actually been a couple of things. When I will say my dance class.
Oh.
I feel like there have been times where I've put my foot in my own mouth instead of just going ahead and doing it. But that's just me sometimes. I can't settle for, being like, okay, well, it didn't happen this time. I'll do it next time. Then I'll just be putting everything on the back burner. What about you?
Wait, what was the first question?
Well, the first one, I haven't even answered the first question then. Has there ever been a time in your life where you feel like you haven't done anything to the best of your abilities? I feel like there have been many opportunities that I could have taken to be further in what I want to do as a career than I haven't taken those opportunities. I could have been going back to school. I could have been auditioning and being in certain plays. I could have gone out and done different talent shows because there are some here in the city that I could participate in. There have been moments where I could have choreographed for people or, been a part of school systems teaching dances, but I haven't.
So I love that yours are actual tangible things.
Yeah.
That immediately makes me think of that question is my issue with vocalizing how I feel is things that always holds me back. I felt like if I could just have these conversations with bosses, people in my life, anybody.
Yeah.
If I could just. What is that word when you can't put the words into actual word? What is it called? Oh my God! When you can't put your thoughts in the word, there is your thoughts into word. What is that called?
I know what you're talking about, but damn.
I cannot do that.
But I definitely get what you mean. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Oh my God, I can't believe I can't think of the word right now.
Me either. And usually I'm the person that can help you jump out there with the word.
Anyways.
Yeah.
There's just been so many situations. I'm one of those people once we probably when I leave here, I'm gonna be wow, I could have said this, I could have said that.
Yeah.
This was on my mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God. Go ahead and say something because I'm about to find this word.
No, but I definitely get what you're saying. And I think also, I think one thing that we have conquered, but I feel like we haven't done it to the best of our abilities, is this podcast.
Me and my YouTube channel.
Me and mine that I just started. I think with this podcast, we push it a lot, but there have been so many times where we'll push more episodes than we'll push others. We pushed the first 2 to 3 episodes very, very hard to make sure that our faces got out there. People know that we do this podcast. We keep it in our bio all the time, but we don't publicize it a lot we should.
Yeah, so we don't have that. I don't want to say consistency because we do
we do have a consistency for it. But I think later on down the line we lost the drive. to
Yeah,
promote.
like I've the other day I was like, wow, I haven't plugged this at all. So I just threw it in my story and I was like, wow, Rico, you really need to stay like pushing this like this so people can know that this is something that we're loving to do really, and having.
Yeah, I think the thing about it with me is when it comes down to doing this to the best of our abilities, when it comes down to sitting down and planning out these topics and talking about them and putting in the time and effort to actually do the podcast, that's not the problem. The problem with us sometimes lies with publicizing it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm afraid to flop.
Yeah.
That is really one of my things. Like, I don't like to put, like, twerk class, I don't like to keep doing it if I'm gonna flop.
Yeah. But I think that's where it really does come into that slow growing process of elevation. We really do have to understand that success doesn't come overnight, and if it does, the quicker it comes, the quicker it'll leave.
Ooh.
And I think
Grandma, you make me so mad because they just come out and you don't even realize you just said grandma's like whole Bible verse. You make me so
No, but like no, I'm saying that because I think my biggest fear is for our podcast not to like actually
articulate.
I hate you. That is very
Google was not working with me. It wasn't for a minute. But we got it. I don't know how to articulate.
So we're gonna rewind?
No, I'm good now. I don't even want to talk about it at this point.
No, but seriously, like I think one of my biggest fears was like with the podcast. I feel like if we don't promote it enough, it's not gonna get the success that it should. Mm-hmm. I feel like this could be something that is very great for the both of us and even some of the people that we bring along onto it, because this is not just something for the both of us. This is a platform that we utilize. And I really sit back and I'm like, we put time and effort into, you know, a lot of the things like this that goes into this. Mm-hmm. Like people sometimes I really hope people don't think that we just come around with each other and be like, let's just sit down and record and talk.
No. Oh my God.
It's so I don't want to make it seem like it's so much work that goes into it, but it is. Mm-hmm. The editing, the process of posting, and then publicizing and promoting it in itself is also a lot of work because you also don't want to over promote, and I think that's a problem.
You don't want to. My biggest fear is like putting things in my story and then people are like, "You're aggravating." Mute. I'm not gonna watch this. Mute.
Like, and I think another thing too, and we talk about it a lot. Timing. I think my thing is I really don't want to do this podcast sometimes and be like, damn, we're running our mouths for a long time. No one's going to sit there and listen to it for this long. But then we get those encouraging words like, I listened to it, or like...
Yeah, when people tell me they, like, speak of a line, and I'm like, that was 49 minutes in. You got that far?
Right. When people are telling me, like, you were so funny when you said this and this and this, and I said, that was towards the end in our positive affirmation. Like, you know, I'm really, like... I'm really becoming okay with publicizing and promoting the podcast because I know we have to and we need to. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm like, I really don't want to promote it too much to the point where everyone's like, we're going to block you.
We get it. You have a podcast.
Yeah.
And it's just me.
Yeah. Like, I overthink sometimes, though. Like, when it comes down to... But this is my crap. Like, this is our shit. Like I don't want to try to dumb down what I'm saying because I'm cussing now, but this is our shit. This is our podcast. This is at one point, this is going to be our baby. This is going to be something that we're like, okay, we're passionate about this. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like this is something that we're really like passionate about.
Yes.
This is something that we put time and effort into. And I don't want people to think that like, you know, oh, they're over promoting it now. They're doing too much. We don't want to listen. And now I'm sitting here like, because me and you together, one thing that I can say is we can give up on shit really fast. When we feel like it'll become too much work, we can give up on it.
Please leave me alone.
But like we're very consistent with this.
We seven episodes.
7.
As we keep repeating the number. But no, honestly, one of the hardest things in life is sticking to something.
Yeah.
And whether it be something you're passionate about or even like freaking college, like sticking to that is so hard, and that's why I commend anybody who's getting their degree and like sticking to the shit. But so our topic for the day,
ooh, Lord,
Fears. Or the word fear. Drop the S and...
It's singular.
Yeah, what are you scared of? And I don't want to... I'm not talking like, I'm scared of spiders and roaches. Like, fears.
Okay. I have a few.
Ooh.
One fear of mine is the fear of disappointing my parents. I have a huge fear of, like, disappointing my parents. Not just my parents, my family. Because of being an artistic person. If you don't make it, you have to start all over again.
Not even, like, yes, that, but that whole being artistic, and I don't want to say just black families, maybe all families, it's not looked at as like a promising thing. So it's my fear is letting people be like, yeah, I was right about your dreams or something.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, like, I know that I want to make a living doing what I love. Mm-hmm. But if doing what I love doesn't bring food to the table that I'm trying to create for myself, I'm disappointing people. Mm-hmm. And now I'm proving people right. And now everyone's
why did I just dance around that word? I hate proving people right.
Yeah. Like, that is the truth, though. Like, I don't want to be the example of Christian didn't make it, so now y'all know not to do this.
Yes, they'd be like, yeah, Uncle Rico wanted to be a twerk star, and look at him now.
Christian wanted to be a dancer. You get what I'm saying? Christian wanted to be a dancer, now he working at a call center. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I also, it's just because, like, when I sit back and I think about, like, a lot of the people now that are getting quick fame, getting money in their pocket, you know, getting this social platform that they're able to do so many things on. And it's like, sometimes I do get envious, and I'm like, that could be me. Mm-hmm. That could be me. I could be doing so much better than what they're doing. I could be using my platform for better things. I could be doing better things. Sometimes I have to sit back and be like, that's not you right now.
Yeah. And it's so heartwarming to see, like, celebrities in their prime at older ages, like Viola Davis and
Angela Bassett, and
don't you say Taraji, because she definitely is no longer I'm no longer a stan.
Why?
She said something very problematic maybe not too long ago, but I've never been a stan anyway, so I was just like, okay, girl.
Taraji's funny to me, but you know, we've talked about me, and that fear will bounce back to me. What's the fear of yours?
I think I've said it before on the podcast, but one of my biggest fears is growing old and alone. Like, as much as I say I'm not looking for a relationship, or I don't want a relationship right now, at some point in my life, I don't want to be a lonely 40, 50-year-old man, like, just growing old by myself, like, traveling the world by myself. Like,
not being able to enjoy life with someone.
I would like to make some memories with a soulmate.
Yeah. No, this gonna sound funny. I don't want to be the last one of my friends to get married.
Really? I don't mind that. I say it now, but
I think it's because that goes to the whole, I don't want to be Uncle Christian that's in a relationship and then out of one. In one and out of one. In one.
That's not funny, but, like,
you get what I'm saying? And it's like, no shade, but a lot of the older gays have been painted to being that uncle that's never with somebody.
I want to be the rich uncle. Another big fear, which I guess everybody who has a healthy relationship with their family is this fear, but losing
losing my mom.
Yeah, I was gonna say losing my parents, but it's really just my mom. But then I was gonna say losing the ones that, like, shaped me. Because, like, when my grandma goes, it's gonna be a wrap for me.
I'm going to die.
I'm finna be in the casket with her.
Like, I'm really going to be like, I don't know what I'll do. I feel like for a moment in time, I'm going to be lost.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's really, and I know, like, you know, especially older people, they say, you know, don't, I know you're gonna cry, I know you're gonna be upset, but don't let that, affect you that much, kind of thing. Like, my granny has always said that, when her times come, don't be depressed, don't be sad, don't get stuck. And I'm like, I guess you don't know me.
Yeah. And that one, I felt like it was like a easy, like, given fear, like everybody's fear. But this one, one of my biggest fears is hitting that rock bottom at, like, that older age where, like, you know how in movies people are, she's a CEO of a company, blah, 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 blah.
And everything gets taken away.
Everything gets taken away. She's homeless. She's this. She's that.
Like, a man's leaving her.
And I'm like, literally, and, like, as much as you talk to people in the real world, like, shit like that happens to everyone. Yeah. Like, they're living their best life, and then just a curveball that, like, just takes them down
every
notches.
Day. It's somebody losing a person. Someone's losing their job. Their livelihood is changing. And I think my thing is a fear of mine. It goes hand in hand with that, is not only losing everything, but, like, losing everything and being alone. So it's like, if I lose everything,
like, it just starts stacking up. It's like, I just lost my mom. My man just left me. Now my job, and
I'm being fired from my job, or I'm being laid off from my job. Like, it's just with that. It's so many fears that a person can have, the realistic fears. Like, anybody can be afraid of spiders. Anybody can be afraid of, snakes and things like that. But, like, having these kind of fears are real.
Yeah.
Like, having a fear of not being able to have a sustainable career. Like, one of my biggest fears, and it's going to sound a little funny when I say it, is being 30 and still living with my mom.
Yeah.
That's a fear of mine.
A fear that I feel like you definitely might have is, I have the same one, is I have a fear of not expressing myself.
Yes.
So if I don't want to be working a dead-end job where, like, I'm, like, not being able to be me.
Mine might be a little opposite.
Oh.
I have a fear of expressing myself too much.
I don't think that's possible. Unless you, like, showing them your booty hole.
No, the reason, what I mean by expressing myself too much is, for a long time, I've been the middle child. So, they have this thing, the middle child syndrome, where sometimes they feel like they're being overshadowed by the youngest or oldest child.
I'm a middle child, too. I love it.
So, then you'll understand what I mean. It's just like the oldest child, sometimes when they need help, y'all can need help at the same time, but they'll help that one before you. Or you're always helping somebody.
That's me.
But when you're crying out for help, no one's really there.
That's me.
So,
but I have an issue with asking for help. I can ask for little help, but when there's major help, I can't do it. It's just not gonna happen.
So with me expressing myself too much, mine came with my talent. As a child, I didn't dance or sing as much because I felt like everyone paid it dust. So anytime that I get a chance to, I'll express it, or I'll do it, or I'll show it. And before you know it, me expressing myself could be me being labeled as a show-off. Here go. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of it being positive, now it has a negative connotation to it.
But now it makes me not feel bad, but, like, it makes my heart go out to you, because it's like, you shouldn't have that fear of doing too much.
Yeah.
Just because of that, like, past experience of it, like, one, not getting the attention, two, it's like, oh, Christian's dancing again. Like, no, it's not doing too much. You're doing what you love.
Yeah.
So
and sometimes you have to think about it that way, but at the same time, there's always you limiting yourself. No one. I will always say this: if I'm out in public and I am dancing, I'm not dancing to my full abilities. I will stop. Mm-hmm. I will literally stand still. I'll be like, all right, whatever, cool, I'm here. That's done.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I had that fear of it's not going to be positive anymore.
But that, I guess, yeah, like, at a bar, you do need to stop at some point. But it's like, if it's the time and the place, I want you to keep going. It's like,
of course. If there's
like,
the
if
time,
it's a recital, like, go hard.
My thing is this: when it comes down to that, at the same time, like being a dancer. With being a dancer or a singer or, an actor or something like that, being in the entertainment industry, even with us doing the podcast, someone as host, any moment can be an opportunic moment. Mm-hmm. So I could be dancing, and right before I decide to stop, someone that's literally over a big dance company could be like,
Beyonce recruiting for Homecoming.
I mean, honestly, and I talked about it in our first segment. When I was dancing at the bar, I got approached by someone who wanted me to choreograph a piece for their school. Did I take the opportunity? No. Should I have?
Probably.
Exactly.
It's definitely. I love that.
But I don't know. That also comes into fear. I feel like sometimes I overthink sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I'll have a fear of falling on my face in front of everybody. I think that's why sometimes I don't go ahead with my class, because I feel like I'll like you said, you don't want to flop. You don't want to fail. You don't want to be that laughing stock. And as much as we publicize, like, yeah, in my first class, I had 20,000 people in there. You have to start off small. You do. You have to. Not everybody's going to start off big and be like, yeah. But my fear is just like, my biggest fear right now, being young, is having my dream being crushed in front of my eyes right before me. Like, I see myself failing, and I'm going down that route. That is, like, my biggest fear. To know that I'm failing. And I'm continuing to let myself fail.
I do not want to see failure, like, happening. I'd rather just sneak up on me, please. Don't just start trickling down. Like, yeah, you're starting to fail. And I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
Like, please sneak me from behind.
Literally.
If I'm gonna fail, please sneak me from behind. I would hate to have to see you.
Sharkeisha me, knock me out.
While I'm looking towards the left. Please.
And my brain is going to the right.
Like, it's...
I'm trying to think of another fear that I have, but...
I don't know. Do you have a fear of death?
Yes, I've been thinking of it a lot recently. I'm like, what if we die? And like,
sorry, it's not supposed to be funny.
It's not supposed to be funny because I joke about death too much. But what if we die and it's more because I'm not such a religious person. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what if like we're just floating in this like black pit hole? Like we're just like literally subconsciously like, yeah, we're dead and we're stuck like this by myself.
I think it's not a fear of death. It's a fear of what happens after.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to die. And it's just like, nah, I'm here. So.
And I'm really hoping that reincarnation is a thing where it's like, I would love to be aware that, yeah, I lived another life. But I'm perfectly fine, like, just waking up as, like, a female. And then this is going
to redirect a little bit. We'll go back to the fear. But, they say that reincarnation, quote unquote, does happen a little bit. That's why we have deja vu moments.
I love it. So I'm ready. Kill me now because I want to be born into a rich family.
That's why they say that when you're like 3 or 4 and you have like those random memories of stuff that you never like experienced or you never remember.
I don't have any memory of like anything probably before 7. I'm not going to lie.
Exactly.
I have terrible memory to this day.
But at 7 and under, you probably had memories of something else.
I mean, we were probably like goo goo gaga, dummy. I want some gum. I want some juice. Like we won't.
We can't express it.
We really weren't living our best lives.
So, but
fear of death, yes.
I have a fear of like I'll be honest with you. I'm not the most religious person either, but I'm somewhat religious. I have a fear of hell. As much as I joke about like, oh yeah, girl, I'm going to hell with a handbag. What if we get there?
We're literally like, it's hot. There's flames. Someone's whipping me, and I'm like. Make it in. Can I kill myself here?
Like, do I get a second chance?
Or like, did you watch American Horror Story, Kevin? Mm-mm. Okay, never mind.
Also, a fear of mine is like being at the peak of death, but like not dying.
Oh no.
Like if I fall from a building and they're like, he was dead for 20 seconds and I'm back.
Are you kidding me?
That is a fear of mine.
I'm scared of being paralyzed and not being able to kill myself. Like, if I'm paralyzed, neck down, and I'm, like, in a wheelchair, and I'm like, yeah, I really couldn't even kill myself if I tried. Like, no, that's my biggest fear. Like, if I wake up and they're like, yeah, we saved you, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Why? I am a pickle. I have no arms. I have no legs. What did you save me for?
Honestly, though, I can't lie. I think... I'm a dancer, though. I think my biggest fear is, like, breaking both of my legs.
I'm so sorry. That's not funny.
Like, oh, but I have like fear of like natural disasters as well.
I have a fear as a fucking gay man of catching the fucking it. not the unison sigh. Cause oh my god, it's so scary nowadays.
Yeah.
Because I've
before you know it, it's there.
Yeah, and I've gotten out of that like shaming stage of people who get it. It's just like, for me, it's terrifying because you never know who has it. Yeah.
Some people give it out regardless of their status.
Yeah, unknowingly. It's
or
like
sometimes even knowingly.
Yeah, well, definitely knowingly. You're going to jail. But I don't want to say it's not necessarily my fear of getting it then. It's more my fear of like sharing with like my loved ones that this is something that happened to me.
Yeah.
Because that's again proving someone right. Because immediately when you tell somebody you're gay, my mom's one of my first things she said to me was like, "Be safe," and it just had that tone of,
don't be out there getting
raw dog. Yeah. And I'm like, please, why would you do this to me? Why would you say that?
Because now we all have this fear of going to a doctor and they're like, so.
Yeah, getting tested is literally the most terrifying thing on earth. Even if you've been doing everything right, you're just like,
yeah,
sir, don't sugarcoat it.
I think another big fear of mine is because I almost had this happen to me is
getting pregnant.
No, and it's funny that you said like being at the same time as me. No, but being like sexually molested. Like I think, or I can't say being in a domestic. Or I will say being killed in a domestic,
Oh my god, that was so... That went from, like, yeah, I may have gotten punched in the face to I'm now murdered.
No, but no. Not like got punched in the face, but like, because I've gotten dragged before. But when you are in some of these situations, sometimes you do have to fight for your life, or sometimes you just have to take it. And I know a lot of gay men that have been in situations where they were just like, I'd rather have sex with you willingly than you forcing it upon me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of scary.
It is terrifying.
Being a gay man and you're just like, okay, well, this turned from a nice, cool date to you forcing yourself upon me.
But it happens to females too. So
yeah.
I don't want to like just be like, yeah, as a gay man.
Of course, I think the reason why I will say it's a little more fearful for me as a gay man is because in society, sometimes they don't look at us like...
Yeah, they're going to
assume that we could have fought harder. You could have done something different. Oh, you're still a man. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That I've been sexually abused or I've been physically abused, because a lot of the times with domestic violence situations between gay men or gay women, they just look at it as fighting. You could have fought back. You could have done something different. I'm not saying all cases, but some cases.
That is a fear of mine. One is like being in a domestic situation and like calling for help, like the police or somebody, and they're like, "Are you serious? Like, 2 men?" And I'm like, "Oh, see what I'm exactly like." You don't.
It makes me scared to cry out for help sometimes.
Yeah, you're belittling me because you think I should be this masculine man who can handle myself, and I think that's
always kind of been a fear of mine. Not now anymore. It's still a little inward. I have it a little bit, but being scared of being gay in society, being openly myself.
One of my fears is being subject to like not hate crime, but hate in public situations.
Yes. And when you see those stories of those trans girls getting killed, or like, things that happen to young gay men, mm-hmm. You're like, that could have been me. Mm-hmm. And that's scary. That's terrifying. Going out to where we like to go on Fridays, going out to bars, going out to like public settings, or better yet, what happened in Orlando Mm-hmm. That's always been not only a fear of mine, but a fear of my mom's and my dad. Like, my parents getting a phone call, your son was,
gunned down in a club.
Due to hate crimes. that's to me is enough to be like, you know what, I need to stop doing this, or I don't want to do that, or I can't do that. Which is why sometimes I do get scared doing my hair certain ways or acting certain ways in public, because you're like, they're already gonna look at me and be like, that's...
The fact that I can't wear a crop top to certain situations just automatically makes it reality. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm getting dressed and I'm like, wow, Rico, you really can't wear this to where you're going right now.
Like, people are really gonna look at you, they're gonna stare at you, they're gonna point at you.
And if somebody says something to me, that is one of the biggest fears. Like, they're like, do you know God? And I'm like, oh my Jesus, like, lady, do you want to fight? But I have this to kind of lighten the mood. I had this fear of I don't know why it came up like yesterday. I was imagining like being out with the circle and like a giant brawl happening, and I was like running up and like drop kicking somebody. My fear is like getting in a fight and accidentally killing someone, like not like stabbing them, but I've heard freak stories where if you punch somebody in the nose wrong, they can die.
Yeah.
So imagine you just thinking you're mollywhopping someone and they die and now you're in jail.
Sorry.
So, and you're going to be like in front of the judge like, no, I was really just trying to teach him a lesson. And they're like, well, he's dead, manslaughter, jail. And I'm like, so that's why I don't even want to fight. I don't want to fight anybody, don't you?
Yeah. I think my thing is, which is why I don't get into I walk away in a lot of the situations that I've been in, is because I think of things in the long run. Like, things could go totally wrong. They see everybody fighting. Before you know it, police are gunning everybody down.
Literally scoping y'all through the gas station, through the gas station window.
You get what I'm saying? I don't know. I think also a big fear of mine has been getting into like a big brawl like that.
Really, I welcome it. I welcome the danger.
And that is our problematic queen.
So guys, we wanted to give you guys a short episode for once,
yeah,
I guess. So any closing thoughts on fears?
I'm
not going to say do your best to tackle them, because it is so hard to tackle your fears, and I'm not going to force anybody else to by like pushing that onto them, but actively work against them.
Acknowledge them. Because I know a lot of us don't acknowledge them. Mm-hmm. We sit there and be like, we won't acknowledge them until we have these kind of conversations. And before you know it, now you're getting hit with this wave of sadness that you never knew you had. Because there have been times in this exact podcast where I know you probably seen it. I was about to cry.
It's not a podcast episode if someone's not about to cry.
Honestly. Especially when you're talking about your fears. But don't be afraid to acknowledge them. Don't. Because we have fears. You're human. I think people need to remember that.
And sometimes you won't realize that like this fear is something that you really like. It's prominent in your life.
Yeah, like it's there. It's present.
Like that fear of failing is like, girl, it's there. It's knocking at the door. It's behind you. It's in your hoodie.
Girl.
This person finally approved my follow request. Let's see who this is. But we're so excited for the positive affirmations. I know who this is. Mm-hmm. So you went first last time. So I guess it's time for me to go. I think it was so cute how our positive affirmations linked with our topic last time though. Yeah. That was very cute. But mine has nothing to do with fears.
This one doesn't either.
So mine is, don't lose your spark putting out someone else's fire.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like out of all of my positive affirmations, that one was very self-explanatory, and I don't want to like ramble on about it. But just preserve your energy when dealing with others, if that makes sense. There's only so much you can do for someone else.
Yeah. That's very true. Mm-hmm. I can't talk about that because I do that.
Oh, really? Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I'm the first to be like, girl, this is beyond me.
You ever notice I go out of my way for people? And then I get hurt in the end. And then realize...
But are you saying like for friends or like
people,
romantic?
People in general.
Okay. I do this shit for my family and I'm over it. I mean, like, don't call me for nothing.
Like, I feel like family's different. I'll give them a way more of a pass than anybody else. Not my cousins.
I give my sisters passes, but it's been 21 years. How many more passes do you need before you start getting this ass whooping? I love them.
Okay. Mine says, repeat this until it sticks. I do not need people who do not need me. And look.
Why do I want to combat you? I don't like saying people need me, or like when Rihanna dropped Needed Me, that was not one of my favorite songs because I don't feel like people need another. I hate that mentality. And that's me being vague because I can't articulate, but but that also comes from my mom. Like, if back in the day, I'd be like, hey, I need you to sign this paper, and she'd be like, you don't need I don't need to do shit but stay black and die. That is one of her favorite sayings. So I have been running with it. Anytime someone says need, I'm like, is it actually a need, honey? Because it sounds like a want to me.
But I think that is personal.
Yes. That's why I'm not gonna be like, fuck your positive affirmation.
Cause you know, you can say fuck my positive affirmation.
Well,
because
I'm kidding.
No, it's just to each his own. Because in some instances, you may not need someone financially, but you may need them mentally,
emotionally.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I take this to where it's like, mine, I need to go ahead and take that. I do, because I just admitted to you what your positive affirmation said don't do. I do that. I go out of my way for people that don't go out of their way for me. Stop doing that.
Wow, we are kind of in tune.
Yeah, and it's funny because we didn't even talk about that before.
Yeah. Seriously, Bucci's at this point,
girl. Our periods are in sync. But no, seriously.
Heavy flow.
But no, seriously. Stop going out of your way for people who don't pay you no mind. Stop being that emotional support for people who don't need emotional support. Stop calling people who don't want to talk. Don't give people time.
That is a big pet peeve of mine when I'm calling somebody like,
you're putting all the effort in a conversation and they're giving you yeah, okay.
Or that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, we know what that is now. Don't hit me with the that's crazy when I'm literally asking for advice, needing your help. There we go, using the word need.
I mean, it's the truth though. Because sometimes we put ourselves in situations where not that we need others, we just want others. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the people that we want to be there, we don't need them to. And that's the problem.
Ayanla?
Girl.
We love it.
I'm just saying, this goes back to me saying that I go out of my way for people. I can't be your emotional support animal. I can't be I
need one of those.
I can't be the person that you call anytime that you need somebody when, first of all, the energy is never reciprocated. Mm-hmm. When you don't answer when I call, but I'm supposed to answer when you call. Or when it's time to sit down and converse and talk about feelings, I'm open with you, but you're never open with me. You can't be one-sided. And that's the truth.
Yeah. It's so sad because I literally base everything off of reality TV, but Nene said it. Somebody said it about Portia, and they were just like, you can't just be a one-sided friend. You can't just take. You have to give.
Exactly. And that's the problem with a lot of people now. We have a lot of people that want to take and not a lot of people that want to give. Energy's never reciprocated.
Too many bottoms, not enough tops.
Girl,
I'm done. I'm not saying anything else on this podcast.
But to end it all, about my positive affirmation. Don't find people that don't need you. Mm-hmm. Because nobody needs anybody.
Period, love.
Find people who want to be around you. Because those people are honest people.
And they're going to be there in the long run.
And that's...
As much as we haven't met the long run yet, but...
I mean, I don't want people to think that time defines a great friendship. Because time doesn't define a great friendship.
Yes and no. Like, I have had people that have been closer friends to me than people I've had for years and years. But I'm saying I don't know, maybe what I just got from your statement is you're saying you can have this great friend for the time being, but they're not going to be here in the long run. And that's what my biggest fear. I want to make lifelong friends. I don't want year-long friends.
Of course, everybody wants friends that are lifetime friends. Mm-hmm. People that feel like they've been here your entire life, that know you, know your lineage, know everything about you, majority of your ins and outs. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is me and you could be friends for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And now that we've been friends for 2 years, that can turn into a lifetime versus someone that's known you for 10 years.
Yes.
Time does not define that. The value of it.
Love it.
Is what defines it.
Guys, I just want to go on the record and say I am in love with Christian.
Girl. Get in line. Oh,
see how he treat me? You know what? Shade-aholics. We out. Headass.
No, but wow.
Oh my God, 41 minutes. We got to stop it for 4:42.